You only have to save enough money to retire once, but you have to protect it every single day. What if I told you that once you retire, six invisible financial safeties suddenly vanish? Your ability to fund an HSA is gone. Your access to new 401k money is gone. And your pain of loss for every market drop dramatically increases. Before you take your last paycheck, let's go through the full 12 things that disappear so you can replace those lost protections and finally transition from a lifetime saver to a confident spender. For decades, we've played the long game, diligently saving, investing, and planning for the day we could finally call our time our own. But crossing that finish line isn't just about having enough money. It's about understanding the profound shift that happens the day the paychecks stop. I retired about 6 months ago, and as a former financial advisor, I've seen firsthand how many people are blindsided by what they lose in the transition, not just financially, but psychologically too. The safety nets we took for granted are suddenly gone, which can turn a dream retirement into a period of anxiety and uncertainty. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain on the 12 things that vanish the moment you retire. We'll cover the first 6 critical financial changes, then dive into the 6 mental and emotional shifts you need to prepare for. My goal is simple: to give you the clarity and confidence to not just retire, but to thrive. Before we dive in, do yourself a favor and hit that save button. You'll want to come back to these points as you get closer to your own retirement date. Your ironclad risk tolerance. You've weathered market storms for decades, telling yourself to stay the course because you had time on your side. But what happens to that confidence when the safety net of your next paycheck is completely gone? For 30 or 40 years, every market dip was a buying opportunity. We could always add more money to our accounts. But once you retire, you're no longer adding new money, which completely changes the game. The pain of loss for every market drop increases dramatically. A 20% drop isn't an opportunity anymore. It's a direct threat to your lifestyle and longevity. Your time horizon might still be long, but your emotional ability to handle volatility, your risk tolerance, shrinks significantly. This is the time to have an honest conversation with yourself or your advisor about your investment strategy. It needs to shift from pure growth to capital preservation and income generation. Acknowledging this change is the first step to protecting the nest egg you worked so hard to build. Your favorite retirement accounts. We've spent our careers using powerful tools to build tax-advantaged wealth. But what if I told you that 2 of the most powerful tools are taken away the moment you stop working? These accounts are tied directly to earned income and specific types of health plans. Once you stop working, your eligibility often vanishes. Your ability to contribute to a 401k is gone. Even more critically, if you go on Medicare, you lose the ability to contribute to a health savings account, HSA, the triple tax-advantaged holy grail of retirement savings. Max out these accounts in the years leading up to retirement. If you have a few years left, front-load your HSA contributions. Understanding that these doors are closing allows you to take full advantage of them while you still can. A consistent revenue stream. For your entire adult life, you've had a predictable flow of money coming in every 2 weeks or every month. How does your mindset change when that reliable river of revenue suddenly dries up? The absence of a paycheck can create a feeling of scarcity, even with a large nest egg. This psychological hurdle makes it difficult to spend confidently. You lose that automatic, predictable income. This is why pensioners are often more confident spenders. They know another check is coming next month. Without that, you bear all the investment and withdrawal risks yourself. Create your own paycheck through a systematic withdrawal plan. Automate a transfer from your investment accounts to your checking account each month. This mimics the feeling of a paycheck and can restore the confidence you need to enjoy your money. The saver's mindset. You've spent 40 years honing one skill above all others, saving. But what happens when the skill you actually need in retirement is the exact opposite? We've trained our brains for decades to delay gratification and accumulate wealth. It's incredibly difficult to just flip a switch and feel comfortable spending that money down. The habit of saving vanishes, and it must be replaced by the skill of spending. If you don't learn to do this, you risk underspending and not enjoying the retirement you worked so hard for. Start flexing your spending muscle a couple of years before you retire. Intentionally plan for and spend money on things you enjoy. This isn't about being wasteful. It's about retraining your brain to understand that this money now has a new purpose: to be used. The luxury of someday. We all have a list of things we plan to do someday. But when you're in your 60s or 70s, what does someday really mean? In our working years, someday felt infinitely far away. In retirement, we have to confront the reality that our window of good health and mobility is finite. The illusion of infinite time vanishes. Your somedays are rapidly becoming todays. Postponing that trip or that hobby for another 5 years is a huge gamble on your health, your partner's health, and your energy levels. If the stars are aligned, if you have the health, the resources, and the desire to do something, do it now. The purpose of your money is to live your best life. Don't let the habit of saving rob you of the experiences you saved for in the first place. Employer-sponsored healthcare security. For most of us, our health insurance has been a given, a benefit tied to our job. What happens when you retire before 65 and that crucial safety net is suddenly removed? In the United States, one of the fastest ways to lose a lifetime of savings is to be uninsured or underinsured during a medical crisis. This is a risk you simply cannot afford to take. The guarantee of healthcare coverage vanishes. Before you're eligible for Medicare, you are 100% responsible for finding and funding your own health insurance. Meticulously research your options before you give your notice. Explore the Affordable Care Act marketplace, COBRA, and private plans. Have your plan locked in so there is not a single day you are without coverage. This is non-negotiable. We've covered the financial side, but the psychological shifts are just as important. Save this video so you can reflect on both halves of the retirement equation. The rush of a packed schedule. For decades, your life has been a rush from one thing to the next. Deadlines, meetings, commutes. What does it feel like when all of that rushing just stops? Our bodies and minds get conditioned to a certain pace. The sudden absence of urgency can be jarring at first, but it's one of the most profound changes you'll experience. The feeling of being constantly rushed vanishes. This has been the single biggest change for me. There's a newfound sense of calm and the freedom to operate at your own pace. Embrace it. Allow yourself to decompress for the first few months. Don't feel the need to immediately fill your calendar. Savor the peace. It's one of the greatest rewards of retirement. Automatic recognition and relevance. At work, you had a title, responsibilities, and a team that relied on you. What happens when that built-in sense of importance and recognition is no longer part of your daily life? So much of our identity can be tied to our careers. We get regular feedback, praise, and a sense of accomplishment from our work. The easy, automatic validation from your job vanishes. This can leave a void and make you question your relevance. Be proactive. You have to find new avenues for recognition, whether it's through volunteering, mentoring, mastering a hobby, or simply being more intentional about sharing appreciation with your friends and family. And hopefully, they'll reciprocate. Your daily routine, the alarm at 5:30 a.m., the commute, the 9 to 5 grind. It might not have been fun, but it was a powerful, structuring force in your life. What do you do when that entire structure disappears overnight? A lack of routine can lead to aimlessness and a decline in both mental and physical health. The freedom of an empty calendar can quickly become overwhelming. The forced routine of work vanishes. You are now the sole architect of your days, which is both a blessing and a huge responsibility. Intentionally build a new routine centered around 3 pillars: your health, exercise, nutrition, your relationships, scheduling time with loved ones, and your purpose, hobbies, learning, contributing. This new structure will be the foundation of a fulfilling retirement. Your work relationships. The daily coffees, the lunchtime chats, the camaraderie of tackling a big project together, these are the threads that weave our social fabric at work. What happens when those daily connections are suddenly severed? Many of our social interactions are built into our workday. It takes effort to replicate that level of connection outside of a professional environment. Your easy access to a social network vanishes. While you may stay in touch with a few close colleagues, the broader network of casual work friendships will fade. You have to be an initiator. Join clubs, take classes, volunteer, and schedule regular get togethers. Building a strong social life in retirement is an active process, not a passive one. The weight of responsibility. The pressure of performance reviews, project deadlines, and hitting targets has been a constant weight on your shoulders for years. What does it feel like when that weight is finally lifted? Chronic stress and pressure take a toll on our health over the long term. Removing that from the equation is a massive health benefit. The intense responsibility of your career vanishes. This is one of the most liberating aspects of retirement. It's a huge positive change that you can feel both mentally and physically. Acknowledge and appreciate this new freedom. Recognize that this is a major benefit you've earned. Let this relief fuel your energy for the more enjoyable and meaningful pursuits you now have time for. The restrictions on your time. Your calendar has been dictated by meetings, work hours, and limited vacation days for decades. What happens when you wake up and realize you are in complete control of your 24 hours? Our lives have been built around external constraints. Learning to live without them requires a new mindset. The restrictions on your time vanish. You no longer have to ask for permission to take a trip, go to a midday movie, or spend an afternoon on a new hobby. You are the CEO of your own time. Use this freedom wisely. Mix productivity with leisure. This is your time to explore, learn, and relax on your own terms. It's the ultimate reward for a lifetime of hard work. Understanding what disappears when you retire is the key to making a successful transition. It allows you to replace old safety nets with new strategies, ensuring you move from a life of saving to a life of confident, joyful spending. You've earned this. Now that you know what to protect against when you retire, you might be thinking, what if I could make this happen even sooner? Most people think they have to grind it out until 65, but they often overlook powerful strategies that can speed up their timeline. In this next video, I break down exactly why waiting until 65 might be a big mistake. Click here to discover the blueprint that could help you start your vibrant, well-prepared retirement years ahead of schedule.